Any pugilist worth his salt knows when someone's on the ropes. That's when you throw a combination to the gut and a left hook to the jaw. In Gaffney, we had our own brand of diplomacy. Shake with your right hand, but hold a rock in your left. The road to power is paved with hypocrisy and casualties. For those of us climbing to the top of the food chain, there can be no mercy. There is but one rule: hunt or be hunted.
Kevin Spacey as Congressman Frank Underwood in the Netflix production of House of Cards. We welcome you back. Yep. With Miranda Kahn, J.D. Hayworth. I love the original incarnation from England, where it wasn't Frank Underwood, it was Francis Urquhart. Well, it's fascinating to watch the House of Commons. Plus, from a distance, you're a little more objective. Yeah.
Right. Well, Kevin Spacey obviously is playing a character, but we want to know, since you actually served in Congress, is it really like that? Is it be hunt or be hunted?
Perhaps not as dramatic as that, but realistically, yeah. I mean, as I've characterized it, it's like the mob, only legal. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, unfortunately, in this day and age, people don't only want to defeat you, they want to destroy you. And I've been through it firsthand. I'll spare you the theatrics of that, but that's the sad reality. And it's something that people have to consider should they choose to go into public life. But I will tell you this, even with all of the indignities and the public criticism, John Quincy Adams said it years ago. History records that John Quincy Adams, of course, the son of one president before becoming president in his own right, and then later, after he lost a bid for re-election, he returned home to Braintree, now Quincy, Massachusetts, and the people there went to him and said, "Mr. President, would you run for Congress?" And so John Quincy Adams, former President of the United States, was elected to the House of Representatives. And he said, "There is no greater honor than serving in the people's house." And he did not mean 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. He meant the House of Representatives.
Well, I want to take you back in time, maybe not quite that far. How about 20 years when you were actually serving?
20 years ago, I guess
today.
yesterday.
Do we have that image? Yeah. Can we pop it up? Can we pop up the video? There we go. Look at that.
And there is
1995. Who is that over there in the right corner?
The little guy right there in his tie is 13-month-old John Micah Hayworth. And our colleagues and I was sitting beside Scott McGinnis of Colorado, and there's John Micah just kind of frolicking on my lap. And we were electing the new speaker, the first Republican speaker in 40 years. And you see John Micah was mighty excited about that.
Thrilled.
He went to sleep. What Paul Hayes, the House reading clerk, is doing right there is going through all the names, and members have to stand up one by one and announce who they're going to vote for. And I, of course, that day said Gingrich for Newt Gingrich, and John Micah was thoughtfully quiet because I had my pockets like Captain Kangaroo. I had them full of little bottles to make sure he had his.
Dad.
We were prepared for that, but it was a great honor. Hannah Lynn Hayworth was 4 years old at the time. She had come down to the floor with me, but then somebody asked, "Hey, Hannah, where's your mama?" And I said, "Well, she's right there in the gallery." And suddenly she started going, "I want my mama." So Steve Largent, the all-pro receiver from the Seattle Seahawks, who'd been elected to Congress from Oklahoma, grabbed Hannah by the hand, took her up to Mary in the gallery, where Mary was with my folks and her folks and our eldest daughter, Nicole, who was a senior in high school 20 years ago this week. It is for every member, regardless of side of the aisle, regardless of the rough stuff in politics.
Yes, give them some advice, because
I just want to tell you, being elected and actually being sworn in, which the members will go through in a little more than an hour, for all the challenges and imperfections and frustrations and, yes, the tough times, there is no greater honor. And I was so blessed to have John Micah Hayworth with me that day on the House floor, and now he's 21, has a beard.
Wow,
we're coming back with more. Stay with us.